Yo, what's going on, you guys? It's your boy 3 Stacks in this thing, baby, representing Team Keys of Games. And I'm going to show you guys some really cool combos with pendulums that don't actually require your whole hand. Something traditional with pendulums, we do need a lot of cards and certain variants and certain builds to go off. But I'm going to show you guys combos that are part of the build that I'm currently playing, that are able to build capable boards that play around Dark Ruler no more. Certain ones play around Nibiru and Spear Mode, countering Super Poly, just basically playing around conventional hard counters to combo decks. Mainly Dark Ruler, which is really important, and Spear Mode. Nibiru is not really hard to play around if you're playing certain cards in your main deck, and then Spear Mode is just a card that in certain combo sequences you can play around it pretty easily. You just have to basically kind of take some shortcuts and cut back on being greedy and just focus on playing around those cards while still locking your opponent out. And some of the most effective ways to do that are playing cards that people have kind of just not really, I guess they're not favorable to them, and they consider them to be bricks. They'd rather just play Pure Endymion with Magician Souls and Rest Sage and just play it that way. But I find these combos to be really strong, and just the fact that you can do it with just 2 cards and just 3 cards, with such a minimal amount, is what makes it so optimal to me and so appealing, because pendulums typically need 2 scales before they even pin summon, and then you need to pin summon more than 1 monster. So normally just opening 3 scales and a pendulum monster is like, dang, So the first combo that I'm going to show you guys is going to be a traditional favorite, you guys. Pin Call Dark Worm. Dark Worm is still in my list. Pin Call is still in the list, you guys. I value the consistency of scales. I really like it. Without Electromite, you just need to make sure you always have your high and your low scale at all times. It's nice to draw through your deck and all, but I really prefer getting quicker access to the scales that I need while searching out combo pieces like Harmonizing Magician and having basically synergizing elements with the rest of your deck. Also granting, Duelist Alliance granting 3 counters to a Servant whenever you need is just really nice. So first combo, like I said, just 2 cards. With 2 cards, you can basically lock your opponent out of the game, and you can play around Spear Mode and Dark Ruler no more, which is really strong. It's more susceptible to a Kaiju than a Spear Mode or Dark Ruler, but since people will always side Spear Modes and Dark Rulers against you, it's just a way to play around it. You can't play around everything under the sun, but I'm just going to show you guys how to play around the popular cards right now. So you're going to go Pin Call, pitching Dark Worm, and you're going to go ahead and search out your Dragon Pit and your Harmonizing Magician, and then you're going to activate Dark Worm and Grave, special summon him, and what you're going to do is search out your Gate 0. You can do the same exact combo by having Dragon Shrine and Pin Call, and you will just pitch the Gate 0, and then you will still be able to combo off, which is really nice. You do lose some value, and it requires a little bit more resources in your hand, just 1 extra card. So it's really nice just having just the self-contained Pin Call and Dark Worm. It's just a really powerful combo. So Harmonizing Dragon Pit, and we're going to search our Gate 0. So definitely consider playing Dark Worm in your list. Obviously, this is a really nice combo. You can complement the 6 Pin Calls by playing the Dark Worms. You can even play 3 Dark Worms. The Dragon Shrines help you to get access to it as well, because him being a dragon is what makes this combo just really strong. So continuing, we're going to go ahead and scale Dragon Pit and Gate 0. And remember, if you have the Shrine and you pitch the Gate 0 that you search off of the Shrine, it keeps it a 2-card combo, but you still need an extra scale. More importantly, a 7 scale. Or you could just pitch an extra card in your hand that you didn't need, and you could still get the Gate 0 and the Dragon Pit, which is really important. Then you're going to just pin 1. If you add Zephyr Neo to the mix of this, it gets even stronger, because obviously you're getting a backup negation. But what we're going to do is just continue with this 2-card combo. We've got 2 scales. We're going to go ahead and summon out Time Gazer off of Harmonizing. And what we're going to do is we're going to Synchro, that gets banished. And we're going to go ahead and go into our Meteor Burst. Meteor Burst is going to special summon Gate 0. So this first combo that I'm showing you basically plays around Spear Mode and Dark Ruler no more and Super Poly. Then we'll show you combos where you could play around Nibiru and then, the other cards that we're mentioning. So not every combo is going to play around every single card. I'm just going to show you combos that play around certain cards. So you're going to overlay into your Absolute, and then you're going to go ahead and link with these 2 dragons, which is the next most important step of this 2-card combo, into your Union Carrier, which triggers the Absolute Engrave to summon your Vortex in defense, which is the preferred position, and then activate Union Carrier targeting him. and you're going to go ahead and equip your Destruction Sword. Now, off of 2 cards, you only get 1 negate off of the 2 cards, but you get 1 negate and an extra deck lock that doesn't lose to Nibiru. I mean, I'm sorry, not Nibiru, that doesn't lose to Dark Ruler no more and doesn't lose to Spear Mode, which is what I was saying. So it's like, not only are these small, like they're low resource combos that only require a small amount of cards, but they're also playing around cards that can really just destroy you going second. Like Dark Ruler and Spear Mode, just like, dang, you know. And other instances when you play around Nibiru, that's when you're opening Servant, Mastery, a way to get Jackal King onto the field. That's how you're playing around Nibiru. So other combos, you play, if you pay pins, you understand how we play around Nibiru is with our Jackal King. If you get lucky, you can put out an Endymion and a Jackal King to play around the Imperm, you know, and Nibiru sequence. So your opponent's locked out of their extra deck. You have your Omni Negate off Vortex. Because it's only a 2-card combo, if you happen to open Servant and Mastery or Mastery and Providence and other cards, like just other gas cards, like even Chronograph Sorcerer, it can get potentially even more devastating after that. So yeah, it's really, really strong combo. Another sequence, you could, for example, if you had the Zephyr Neo in your hand or anything that accesses to it, you could get your counter trap, and what you would do is you would basically link the Dark Worm and the Zephyr Neo into IP Masquerena, and you would leave her your counter trap and your Absolute there, so that on your opponent's turn, you could link with the IP and the Absolute into a link, you know, of your choice, and you basically would trigger the Vortex, trigger the Absolute to summon the Vortex on your opponent's turn to get a bounce off of it, you know, and you could still have your counter trap, and based on the link 3 that you summon, you could have another play there, like if you play Unicorn and things of that nature. So there's some really cool big brain plays that you can do with this deck. It's just totally up to the, basically, it comes down to your main deck choices and your boldness, you know, if you're willing to play cards, because Pendulums have some cards that are safe but not as powerful, and then they have cards that are risky but are very powerful. If you play Pendulums, you understand what I'm saying. So another 2-card combo, for example, is going to be Abductor plus Zephyr Providence. So what you can do here, and you're not going to normal her for this instance, you would normal her basically if you had backup scale. So we could show you combo sequences. Like if you add a Dragon Shrine to this, you basically would have an extra body and a low scale, so you could normal your Abductor, basically put 3 counters on her off Providence, search your Magician's Souls. I'll show that one too, but anyways, let's go ahead and scale Abductor, activate Providence, grab Oracle. Thank you, Jesus, that we're playing Pendulums and the Zephyrs, because this really, really helps. I'm just going to count counters because my dice are in the box. But anyway, so you're going to have 2 counters on Abductor, and we're going to go ahead and grab our Anger Translator, our Zephyrath, off of the Oracle. As soon as I grab him, he's there he is, and then we're going to activate him. That puts the 3rd counter on Abductor, and you can go ahead and activate her effect, and what you can do is you can search Harmonizing. You basically search any Pendulum monster that you want. So what I would do, depending on the composition of the rest of my hand, I would search something different, but just to make this combo really, really strong, you could search the Harmonizing, and what you'll end up doing next is you'll use Zephyrath, and you'll use Zephyrath to... Where's he at? Okay, Zephyr Neo, there we go. Send the Zephyr Neo. So just off of these 2 cards, you've already got 3 cards on field. Then you're going to pin summon 2 to field off of a 2-card combo. This is the 2-card combo, Providence and Abductor. You know, chain links don't really matter, it's just a combo. So obviously you're going to get your counter trap off of Zephyr Neo. And the next thing that you're going to do is you can summon a level 4 of Harmonizing. So what you can do, you could, for example, tune into a level 8. You can tune into a level 8 Synchro, you can go into a Dweller, or you can do this, which this is a really, really cool extended play that's going to get you a little bit of added value, and it's going to get you, basically, it's just going to get you more value out of the 2 cards. So what you can do here is you can take out that Time Gazer off Harmonizing, and then you could sync, and again, you can go into your Meteor Burst, activate Meteor Burst, and you can basically summon out Abductor. So you could put it in attack position, for example, and keep in mind it's a dragon. This is a 2-card combo. These combos are really, really cool. Some more of a big brain because like it's like, dang, you know, not like, oh, tooting the horn or anything. Some of these is just like you wouldn't conventionally, these are not conventional combos that you would typically do in Pendulums. So you're going to summon out the Abductor, and what you have here is 2 Earth monsters. So you're going to basically link these 2 Earth monsters into Union Carrier, And the same thing, you equip your Destruction Sword, and so off of 2 cards, you get an Omni Negate, just like the last combo, and you still get to play around Dark Ruler No More and Spear Mode, and still have your backup Negate, and lock your opponent out the extra deck, because this is a dragon. Something that's really, really cool, right? So it's off of 2 cards. Look at how much you got off of 2 cards. Carrier, Zephyrath, Counter Trap, this. There's just so much value off of what? An Abductor and a Providence, which is really strong. Let me check the timer. Backed it up a little bit, so maybe closer. You guys can see everything. All right, cool. So continuing, I'm not gonna show heavy combos. I'm just showing you guys very low, like 2 to 3 card combos that get you really, really strong boards. But also just, you know, you're not losing mainly Dark Ruler and Spear Mode. So those play around Dark Ruler Spear Mode, get you an Omni Negate and an extra deck lock, which is really strong this format. Just locking your opponent out their extra deck, you just, whew, that takes you so far. So another 2 card combo is, this one can play around Nibiru. I wouldn't say it's as strong because it doesn't get an extra deck lock to an extent. There's certain ways you could kind of manipulate your hands if you know what you're doing. But I'm just going to show you these right here, because this most certainly could play around Nibiru, obviously, because Servant just summons Jackal. So what we're going to do is obviously just activate the Mastery. And we're going to grab our Servant. Same thing, Providence for Oracle, Oracle for Zephyrath. 3 counters on a Servant already. Zephyrath to send the Zephyrniu. And then you'll go ahead and pin out just the Zephyrniu. Grab your Counter Trap. Remove 3 counters from Servant. Summon her. And something that's really, really cool is you could actually get out, if you have extra spell counters, obviously you could get out Abductor. I can show you those in different combos. Hopefully we have enough time to cover enough. But I'm just trying to show you guys low resource combos. So obviously you can just flat out just summon the Jackal King here. But the thing is, these 2 will hold the counters that you need, so you need an extra spell to get that. So this is just a way that you can play around Nibiru, basically, for your combo. So any extra cards in your hand obviously can get committed if you want to. And because you didn't normal summon for turn, there's something really, really strong, like, for example, if you have a blue boy, if you have a really, really strong normal summon, you know, even if you want to just normal your Magister, you can actually make that play where if you have a Magister, I played 3 Magisters, and you don't want to special summon it, for example, you could just normal it here, right? And then you could link these 2, and you could make a Union Carrier and equip to the Jackal King. So that would make it a 3 card combo at that point. You would equip to the Jackal King the Destruction Sword. Again, no extra deck. You have 2 negates, an Omni and a Monster Negate. And all you do is just add a Magister to that combo. You can pin summon him out, or you can just normal him. It's totally up to you. But that's a 2 card combo right there that's going to get you multiple negations. You know, Jackal King, just showing you guys, it's so obvious that the deck can play around Nibiru. You just have to, because Electromite's, you know, banned, you have to draw the cards that do it. So, yeah, that's kind of a sucky thing. But let's go ahead and take it. So, again, that's a 2 card combo. You're going to get anything you summon off Servant, which is an interruption. It's a negate, plus the Counter Trap. Off the 2 cards, complete scales, really strong. If you add a Magister to it, you get an extra deck lock and 2 negates, so that's 3, you know, but you're not playing around Spear Mode, but every single combo, like I said, you're not playing around literally every single thing under the sun. People are always going to, you know, comment, oh, but it doesn't play around this. It's like you can't play around everything, but you can play around the conventional and popular cards that you can expect to see in a higher, you know, probability in these matchups. So let's go ahead and grab Abductor and basically take a Mastery and a Providence. So here, you would basically just normal summon your Abductor. You would activate your Mastery. This is a 3 card combo. You would utilize your Mastery. So you can grab the Magister. You know, Magister is just really, really strong. Or you can grab the Servant of Endymion. The next thing you're going to do, so she has 2 spell counters off of Mastery. You're going to activate Servant and scale. She gets her 3rd spell counter. So what you do is just remove 3 and you grab your proxy. I can't afford souls right now. Like, even if I can, you know, which, not to say that I can't, it's just not worth it because that kind of money can just go to much more important stuff. So, dang, I don't have the face down. So basically, you grab your proxy Magician Souls off of your Abductor, you know, and then you reveal him. And this is where you want to get lucky off of your Crowley, because before you commit to Providence or Servant, this is a 3 card combo now. You're basically going to link these 2, which is why Magister could work in this combo, because you put a card in the extra deck to make his skill actually valuable. So you're going to link those 2. You could make Union Carrier too, which is really cool because they're both spellcasters, but you can also do that later. So Crowley, you know, let's just say you get lucky for the combo and you grabbed not Blue Boy. You could grab Knowledge or Secrets. It doesn't really matter. So Secrets just for more thinning, right? More counters. This is just a lucky thing. As long as you don't hit Blue Boy because you already normal summon, you're good to go. But nonetheless, you still have Servant, you still have Providence, you still have the Counter Trap, you still have this, you have this there for your Celine play. So even if you miss, you still have a Link 2. That's a spellcaster. So add your secrets. You would basically, you know, activate your secrets. And that would give her 1 counter. You would grab your Knowledge. And this is where you would go ahead and activate Providence. That would give Servant her 2nd counter. You would grab your Oracle. So if you wanted to, also something that's really cool in the same sequence, if you wanted to plus heavier, you could resolve your Zephyr card earlier and basically get the counters on Servant early. So she'll have 2 counters already and you'll be searching out your Zephyr before you link into Crowley. Because what you can do also just to get extra value out of your cards, which is something I recommend you do, just to make sure that your hand still has a couple things in it at the end of your combo. You don't ever want to commit everything, right? You can use Souls to send off the Oracle to draw an extra random card and then go ahead and link these 2 into your Crowley. And she'll already have 2 counters because you went Providence for Oracle. And then when you do that, you activate Servant and, you know, activate Secrets to grab the Knowledge. That's the 3rd counter that you need. And, you know, the Abductor, I don't know why I grabbed that extra. Oh yeah, that was the random card you draw. So this is still the same 3-card combo. You have Crowley there now. So you could just activate Knowledge to draw 2 just to get greedy. And then you would basically get 3 cards, right, off of the 3-card combo. Complete scales that are going to commit more bodies and critical mass. Or you can save the Knowledge for afterwards to use the zones of Crowley first. And then basically, you know, you can do it afterwards. So basically, the known card in hand is Knowledge. Then there's just a random draw. Just keep it there. So then you would go ahead and activate Zephyrath. Then you can go ahead and if you want to play around Nibiru, you could resolve Servant early, but just keep in mind, for this to be a 3-card combo, you have to keep her in scale. So like I said, every single combo is not going to play around Nibiru. Every combo is not going to play around Spear Mode and Super Poly and Dark Ruler. I'm going to show you that some of these combos can, some of these, but no matter what, the combos are always going to be able to play around one of the aforementioned counters that are used against this deck, no matter what, even if it's just Dark Ruler itself, because Dark Ruler is very popular even if it doesn't always work. So Zephyrath into Zephyr. And if the video, let me check, 17 minutes in, if it ends up cutting off on me, I apologize. Hopefully that doesn't happen. So random card that's drawn, Knowledge in hand. So you basically converted 3 cards to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, potentially 2 more, so it could be 7. What you would go ahead and do is just pin some of these from extra deck, grab your Counter Trap, hold your Knowledge still because you can make Celine and Knowledge her off, and then basically at that point you could just resolve your Servant. And if you still feel, you know, a little bit, I guess you could say nervous, you could summon out Jackal King. What I would do is summon out the Indy just for this combo, just to show you guys the best ending board. I'm just going to show you guys, this will play around Dark Ruler no more, definitely. And it will also play around Super Poly. So this one's not going to play around, you know, you can play around Nibiru by preemptively using Servant early to get out Jackal, but then you need an extra low scale, so then it's no longer a 3-card combo. I hope I'm making sense, because I'm trying to answer the comments before they hit the comment section. But anyways, continuing. Counter here, counter there. This is your counter to Dark Ruler already, but you're going to take it even further, because you're going to get Union Carrier and lock your opponent out their extra deck off the same 3-card combo. So remember, the random draws there. You have Knowledge. What you're going to go ahead and do here is you're going to take this Crowley and the Zephyr, get them in your extra deck so the counter trap's live, and make your Celine. Now, Celine is going to be my proxy because I don't actually have one. What she's going to have here is 1, 2, 3. All that matters is she has enough counters to resolve her effect once. There's 3 spells here. So you're going to go ahead and summon out your Endymion from Graveyard. The next thing that you can do is you can basically go ahead and activate Knowledge on her if you want to. Send her off, draw 2 more random cards. Just typically, because you can still make Union Carrier, and you can, if you don't Knowledge her away, you can make Appaloosa. There's a lot of plays you can do just off of 3 cards. It's crazy. So now you have 4 cards in hand. You have 4 monsters on field. You have a scale off of 3 cards. So 3 cards got converted to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards. You went plus 6 That's pretty strong. +6 off of a 3-card combo in Pendulums. I'm not mad at that at all. So, so you could leave the Endymions here. You can go into Union Carrier, equip the Destruction Sword, or if you just want to commit even further, right? You could basically, at that point, you would just hold off on the knowledge. I'm showing you guys like so many possibilities with this combo because it's a really strong 3-card combo. It's pretty consistent considering all 3 of the cards in the combo are at 3, right? So same sequence. What you can do here, just going to show you guys, is you could overlay these two. Now this is all the possibilities. You can take any route you want into your absolute, right? Thank you, Jesus. And then you could take the absolute and the servant, and you can go ahead and link these. And at that point, you could basically just link into another Selene, for example, because she's going to replace herself anyway. So your second copy of Selene, again, I don't have any Selenes. You would summon out your Vortex. Selene would get this enough counters, basically the same amount, just enough to resolve her effect once. That's all that matters. You resolve her effect. You summon out Endymion again. You still have your counter trap. 2 spellcasters get converted. So then you just hold your knowledge at that point, right? Just all the possibilities. I'm not telling you what you're supposed to do or this is wrong or this is right. Just showing you guys all the possibilities. Go into Union Carrier because there's 2 spellcasters that were used for it. And then you lock your opponent out of their extra deck again. So what you get is 2 negations, and you get a super strong Odd Eyes Vortex, and you're playing around Lightning Storm too, so that you don't even have to use a negate on that. So I'm going to find the Destruction Sword, and go ahead and equip that to the Vortex, because he's a dragon, and he's a stronger target. If the Endymion was in attack position and had, you know, a spell counter, he might be a stronger target, because he has protection and he negates. But we're going to equip it to the Vortex. You have your counter to Dark Ruler no more, and you can't be super poly because your opponent can't use your extra deck. And if they spear mode you, I'm not saying this combo is meant to play around it. You know, again, you're not trying to play like I said, everything's not going to play around everything, but all these combos will be able to play around multiples of the aforementioned. Like this one plays around Super Poly and Dark Ruler. You don't have to use your counter trap on Dark Ruler if you don't want to. Basically, if they Dark Ruler you, you will lose 2 negates, but you'll still have a third. Or you could just use this on Dark Ruler and you'll keep 2 negates and an extra deck lock. If they have a second Dark Ruler, they still can't use their extra deck. So this is really, really strong. If you want to play around Nibiru, you would just preemptively use Servant, and then it's no longer a 3-card combo because you need a backup low scale. I hope that I'm making sense. I'm trying to be reasonable with you guys. So continuing. This might be the final one just because it's getting really, really... the clock is running, you guys, for this. So we're gonna go ahead into Abductor. Oh, okay, here we go. So this one, you know, I was gonna do Abductor, Shrine, and a Providence or a Mastery. Abductor and Shrine plus Providence is a 3-card combo. Abductor, Shrine plus Mastery is a 3-card combo. What I'm gonna show you guys here is Wombo Combo. So, oh yeah, we gotta keep it at 3 cards because that's the purpose of the video. Low resources. So thank you, Jesus. If you have a Providence instead, it's still really, really fine. So what you're going to do is you're going to activate your Mastery. These 3 cards are going to get you a nice field. So activate your Mastery, grab your Servant, activate Alliance. 1 counter on her. Grab your Pin Call. Activate Pin Call, pitching Dark Worm. Go ahead and search out your High Scale and your Harmonizing. So if you can't get the counter trap, next best thing is to get the Destruction Sword so you play around Dark Ruler. But more importantly, not only are you playing around Dark Ruler, but your opponent really can't play Yu-Gi-Oh! Conventionally. You know, and you always want to make sure you have a negate to back up so that the Golden Lord can't just out the monster that has the equip. So you always want a multiple or at least 1 negate to protect the board so that it's guaranteed, you know, almost dang near, that you can keep that lock up. And then you're going to go ahead and bring out your Dark Worm. Because you're searching a low scale, this combo can play around Nibiru. Now I've shown you guys combos that play around all the aforementioned. So there's 3 spell counters. Actually, there's 2 spell counters on Servant right now. You're going to go ahead and activate Dragon Pit, putting a 3rd. And then you summon out Servant. And you'll summon out Jackal just to show you guys that this combo plays around Nibiru. So this is your 3rd summon, basically. These count as 2 apiece, so you went 1 plus 2 is 3. You have 2 counters. Now your opponent cannot Nibiru you unless they have an imperm to follow up with. You'll scale. That will get Jackal King to have 2 counters. And luckily, you only need 2 more monster zones anyway, so you'll just pin summon that 1 Harma from hand. And basically, and you don't have to preemptively use Servant. I didn't do a combo that plays around Nibiru, so I'm just showing you guys this one. So, you know, just the side deck cards that people would use to like stop you or break your board or anything like that. Like I said, I can't play around everything under the sun, so just be wary with your comments. So summoning out Time Gazer with Harmonizing. Dark Worm's still there. That's going to be banished. You're going to go into your Meteor Burst. Meteor Burst, I'd probably target Dragon Pit because Zephyrath is a good high scale for your follow-up for your next turn. Overlay those two into your Absolute. And at this point, there's multiple lines of plays. You could obviously take these, link them into IP Masquerena, leave her on your field, so basically you can utilize it on your opponent's turn to link, triggering the Vortex to bounce and get, you know, extra interruptions, or you can just do this. I would normally, when I'm leaving Servant on field, it's good. Okay, so this is another good hindsight play too. If you're leaving Servant on field and you don't have Endymion to bounce it back so it's a low scale, you could also just target your Gate 0, summon it, and then overlay those, because this could die and go back to your low scale. So there's so many options, right? So continuing anyways, if this was Endymion, I'd absolutely bounce the low scale because I know that I can get this back to my hand off Endymion. But this is Jackal to play around Nibiru. So you overlay these into Absolute. You basically, thank you Jesus, you're going to link these into Union Carrier because they're 2 dragon monsters. Summon out your Vortex. So 3-card combo. It's normally the 3-card combos get you 2 negates plus an extra deck lock. The 2-card combo gets you 1 negate plus an extra deck lock. If you notice the value, you're trading out the amount of cards for the amount of interruptions / locks. 3 for 3, 2 for 2. If you guys are noticing the trend here, Union Carrier target that because it's a stronger target, and your opponent can play from their extra deck basically. You know, it's a really strong lock. This is just to play around Nibiru, and you know, Dark Roller is really strong. Super Poly doesn't work.